The Federal Reserve is not accountable to we the people. The Federal Reserve is not accountable to Congress. The Federal Reserve is not accountable to the President of the United States. The Federal Reserve is only accountable to itself as prescribed by a law passed by the Congress. Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
Say it again.
We've seen Greenspan say that. We've seen Bernanke say that. That we are accountable to nobody but ourselves. And by the way, for those of you who think there's still gold in Fort Knox, the Federal Reserve has confiscated that gold as a down deposit against the debt of the United States. The Federal Reserve has grown so big and so powerful that it now directs our nation's policy from behind the camera lights. As highlighted in the documentary, The Obama Deception. Excellent documentary. It's not a hit piece, just facts. It will give you the facts on how this government runs. The presidents that we've had for some time haven't really run this country. But those international bankers, which we are beholden to and thoroughly in debt to, they are the ones who are running the country. You want a little proof this afternoon?
Yeah.
Here we go. The first TARP bill pushed through by Henry Paulson, the Congress, when it voted on it, they really didn't know what they were voting on, and they really didn't know about the provisions in it. I ask you a question. Who put the provision or the clause in that TARP bill that no one can be prosecuted for the way that the money is being spent, or no one can even review how the money is being spent? Have you ever heard of anything like that before? Let's keep going. The largest stimulus bill that was passed by Obama, I think it was in February, it wasn't written by Congress, nor was it read by Congress. Yet it passed. I want to know who wrote it and where did it come from?
Geithner.
The cap and trade bill, which the House just passed, is the same situation. The Congress didn't write or read the bill before passing it to the Senate. One of the most draconian tax bills in our nation's history has been passed by the House, and they didn't even know what was in it. So the question remains, who's running our government and who's calling the shots? And again, the new health care bill, which is soon to come to Congress, is not getting the light of day of public scrutiny as was promised by the president during his campaign. Why is this? Because they know if we knew what was in the bill, we would soundly reject it. So what are they doing? They said, let us shove this bill down your throat in the darkness of no real news coverage. Again, who's writing this bill and who will be profiting from it? We need to get rid of the Federal Reserve. That's the whole purpose of this speech today. We have to get rid of the Federal Reserve. It's got to go. They are stealing our money. When I said they're really taking the money out of your pocket, that's what's going on. Now, part of the good news is that earlier in our history, in our nation's history, we have gotten rid of 2 central banks or Federal Reserves. We have done it. The people got educated, they got bold, and they got active, and the Federal Reserves were closed up. And the people regained charge over their own monetary systems. Again, if the Federal Reserve didn't exist, we wouldn't have a national debt. It would be gone. If the Federal Reserve didn't exist, we would have a real Congress rather than the best Congress that money can buy. If the Federal Reserve didn't exist, we would have a real president who would be free to do what is really best for this country. Amen. If the Federal Reserve didn't exist, the buying power of our dollar would be super strong than decreasing on a daily basis. The days of a one-worker family could come back. There is a movement to end the Federal Reserve. Join this movement with me. Join Ron Paul's bill, which is in committee to audit the Federal Reserve. It's in committee. But we know the problem here is Barney Frank and Pelosi, Nancy Pelosi. They're going to try to bury that thing if they can and never let it come out of committee. 246 people have signed that bill and they want it to come through. We the people have got to make our voice known. We the people have got to make our will known that you work for us and we don't work for you. The key to this whole thing is the man or the woman looking in the mirror. We must get active to save our country before it's too late. Thank you very much.
Yeah.